boards, playing solid defense, and then able to show his perimeter game as well, Chris.
So London's been able to survive that torrid start by the Titans so far. Ashton Smith just takes a jumper, no good. Bit of a heat check, I think. Mo Bolden now back the other way. Inside to Williamson. One-on-one with Smith. He just takes it up, and he's going to go to the line to shoot two.
Great awareness by Mo Bolden, seeing the mismatch. Garrett Williamson seeing that he had Ashton Smith on him, taking him right underneath the hoop, getting an easy bucket.
And on that note, we're going to take a look at the players to watch in tonight's game. Of course, Joel Friesen, the former Bolt. Those numbers are a bit wrong there, but Joel Friesen, another former Bolt on this KW Titans team, a guy who figures to play a big role for the Titans. And then Xavier Moon for the London Lightning. Williamson able to make one of his two free throws, makes it an 11-10 game. Whitfield over to Ellis. Great passing from the Titans. They've shown a lot of that this year. Hall inside to Smith. Smith looking for an opportunity. No good. Good defense by Ware. Three from Derek Hall is good.
We've got a little bit of the new age basketball there when your 7-footers pulling up from three. Great shot by Hall. Bailed his team out of a possession that was getting a little sporadic.
Williamson double team comes. Cuts inside to Phillips. I think that got affected by Hall there. Back the other way of the Titans.
Very much so, Chris.
Hall just kind of lobs it up, Bolden in his way, but he's able to finish.
Hall showing some versatility, the big man. Liking it, running the lane, beating his man down the floor.
Hall, one of the top performers in both scoring and rebounding in NBL Canada last year. Ware. One-on-one with Hall. Exploits the mismatch. Can't get the shot to go. Strips it back away. Bolden. Kicks it cross court to Williamson. Williamson cuts inside. No good. And back the other way are the Titans.
Good
Akeem
defense,
Ellis.
Good defense by Ellis there.
Again, an established player, former Island Storm member as well. Ashton Smith just kind of throws it up there. No good. 16-10, 7:24 to play. This is Williamson. Open lane to the rim. No good, but great finish there on the follow-up by Marcus Capers.
Marcus Capers with an energy play. London really struggling to create in the half court right now. Those are the type of plays that help your team out of those type of ruts, Chris.
You got to think Capers, again, we talked about a lot of guys who have played a lot of minutes for London lately. You played Wednesday night against Windsor. You played a double overtime game Thursday against Windsor again. Marcus Capers realistically probably has the freshest legs on the London Lightning. He sat out the Wednesday night game, sitting out a one-game suspension for accumulation of technicals. So he really went into that double overtime game with some of the fresher legs. We'll see if that carries over for him tonight. Smith over to Sutherland. Sutherland working around Williamson. Great finish from Shamar Sutherland.
Tough finish. Looked like a little lefty throw it up there. Kids got to be able to make plays with either hand.
Williamson over to Bolden. London working it around. This is Ware. Takes the pull-up three. No good. Capers can't collect the rebound. Back the other way are the Titans. Flenard Whitfield. Cross court to Sutherland. Three. Good. 21-12 for the Titans over the Lightning at the start of at the first going anyway of this first quarter. As Justin Strings on the court for the KW Titans. This is Ware. Over to Williamson, cuts inside, kicks out to Capers, mid-range jumper, good.
Good to see that one go in for Marcus Capers. Struggled a little bit early here with his jump shot. KW kind of testing him on it, Chris. Able to bury that one, and we'll see if he builds confidence from it.
So in those first 6 minutes, Ashton Smith, 8 points for the KW Titans, just right in the early going, as well as 2 assists. So Ashton Smith was having a great start to the game for the KW Titans.
One of those things I look for a point guard, Chris, is that ability to control the pace and you dictating it. Ashton Smith has done a great job of that early on. It also helps when your shot's going.
Here's Sutherland over to Hall. Cut inside, no good on the finish. That's going to send Justin Strings to the line.
Justin Strings, a very strong take to the rim there. London, as much as you want to be conscious of your man, Strings had way too easy of a lane in there. Actually lucky that he didn't get the chance for a 3-point opportunity, Chris.
No good on the free throws. 21-14 still for the Titans. That's Capers straight away. No good. London unable to convert. Back the other way of the Titans.
Again, great energy, but it seems as though there's a lid on the rim here, Chris, for London early on.
This is Ashton Smith. Over to Ellis. Ellis takes a deep three. That hits nothing. That'll be London ball.
Again, you see in basketball either maybe a door open, the hands sweat. Definitely Ellis checking the hands on that one. Again, didn't seem really, it seemed like a forced three. London with good defense really causing KW not take the most efficient shot.
And again, we're not courtside, so it takes a little bit of information sometimes to come upstairs. Joel Friesen not in the lineup tonight. He's going to be, I saw him down in street clothes there at the side of the court. That's going to be London taking it to the rim. 2 more points for the Bolts.
I love that when Mo Bolden is aggressive getting to the rim. It really opens up the rest of his offensive game.
This is Strings cutting inside. Sutherland gets a strip by Ware. Capers one-on-one here. That's going to be Moon with the finish.
Nice little dish off by Marcus Capers. Again, his versatility defensively, offensively, and then Xavier Moon with the beautiful little floater that every point guard should have in their arsenal.
It's Damon Lynn over to Hall, pardon me. Strings cuts inside on AJ Gaines. Can't finish. Hall with the rebound. Mo Bolden almost ended up getting a piggyback from him. That's going to send Hall to the line.
Again, Hall, really impressive early on activity. We've seen him maybe not get a block, but really influence some shots down low, which is what you want out of your 7-footer. Influence the game in both ends. He's been able to shoot, shows versatility on offense. Very modern big man, Chris, hitting the three, and then able to crash the boards there and get to the line. We're seeing more and more of this, right, Chris, with the fact of 7-footers being able to show that versatility offensively. If you had talked to a coach in the 80s and you told him that your 7-footer was out on the 3-point line and could make that shot, they would have lost their mind. But really showing the evolution of the game, and it's really exciting to see.
Ed Horton into the game for the Titans now, another former Bolt. Bolden cutting inside on Hall. He's going to get fouled on his way to the rim.
See, that's a mismatch speed-wise that Mo Bolden can take full advantage of. And again, whenever you've got a guy who's clearly making an impact offensively against you, make him work on the other end. Mo Bolden doing just that, getting to the line. And especially with a big man such as Hall, you have to be considerate of, does he start picking up foul trouble? So you take it to him, make him work on the other end, and potentially get him in foul trouble, Chris. You know where he's not effective? When he's on the bench.
That'll make it 23-20 for the Titans. Lynn. Over to Hall. Strings cuts around a screen. Looks to go up with it. Swatted by Gaines, but London fighting over the rebound. Akeem Ellis comes up with it. Over to Horton, far side of the court. Pull up three, no good. London back the other way. This is Kevin Ware. Looking to go up to the rim. Great finish from Ware.
Beautiful body control by Kevin Ware. Able to put it up and in.
Strings over to Lynn. Lynn spins off Gaines. Ditches him with a nice move. Unable to finish on the shot, though. Bolden recovers. Bolden slows it down, lets the offense get in front of him. Cuts in on Hall, goes up with it, and one play from Mo Bolden.
Again, that's the type of play that I love from Mo Bolden. Chris, how many times have we watched games here in London where Mo Bolden is aggressive offensively, getting to the rim, and that really, I would love to see the splits between when he shows that offensive aggressiveness getting to the rim and his perimeter shot moving forward in the game compared to not. I think this is the key to where he can be a great player, and really it sparks the rest of his game, Chris.
Capers going to take a seat. Kirk Williams Jr. onto the floor for the Lightning now. 25-23 Lightning. Here's Greg Morrow also into the game. Over to Horton. One-on-one with Bolden now. Horton makes his move. Kicks out to Lynn. Working on Moon. No good. Kirk Williams Jr. comes up with the rebound. Harassed by Lynn. They're going to call the foul on Lynn.
Again, you like the effort from Lynn, but that far away from your own basket. As a coach, you're happy that the energy was there and the effort, but maybe not the best place to be reaching in like that.
You know, sometimes you see the ball kind of flash in front of you, and you get blinders for it and start going a little too aggressively. Xavier Moon starting the offense for the Lightning. Moon. Over to Gaines, over to Bolden. Lightning working the ball. Moon, mid-range jumper, no good. Gaines gets up there for the rebound and finishes the tough and one play.
He just beat his man to that ball, Chris.
Foul's already becoming a bit of an issue for the Titans. Not only have we seen multiple and one opportunities, but they're also over the limit with 3 minutes left in the quarter.
And here's London. We talked about how they can really get themselves back into this through energy plays. And what have they done, Chris? They've crashed the boards. They've been aggressive. And here we are now with a 5-point lead.
28-23 Lightning over the Titans. Titans came out to a very hot start. London's fought back. Morrow. I believe that's going to be a foul on Kirk Williams Jr. down low.
Yeah, just a tangle up. There was some action on the far side there, trying to open up Lynn, and just some arms getting tangled.
Ellis. Looking for an option. This is Ed Horton backing down Moon. Goes up with it, finishes. Ed Horton.
Ed Horton, another guy that, you got to think has that little bit extra oomph to play here in London.
Moon does a nice move to get open, but can't make the pass work. Bodies hit the floor, and they're going to call a jump ball. Titans with the possession arrow. They're going to get it.
Great energy by both teams there. Little floor burn, Chris.
When you got a coach like Cavell Johnson, you better hit the floor. That was
Absolutely.
a hard-working big man in his NBL days.
Yeah, Cavell Johnson, obviously known as, we talk about energy plays. Cavell Johnson, one of those guys who definitely brought it throughout his career here in the NBL, Chris.
Former NBL All-Star and as well a Defensive Player of the Year. Cavell Johnson, the former Brampton A. Morrow inside. Great bounce pass there by Lynn. Strings goes up with it, but swatted by Bolden. That's going to be lightning ball.
That's the impact Mo Bolden has defensively, too. Strings didn't actually go up with it initially, felt the presence of Mo Bolden, then Mo Bolden was able to also affect when he did go up on that second attempt, Chris.
Here's Moon. Swings it over to Kirk Williams Jr.
Mismatch here.
Yeah, Bolden trying to get position here on Ellis. Ellis doesn't give him a spot, though. Williams Jr. gets it knocked away as he goes to the rim. 6 on the shot clock. Moon swings it to Williams Jr. Hesitates, goes up with it. No good. Greg Morrow with the rebound. Morrow assessing his options. Kicks out to the three-point line. Extra pass. Akeem Ellis. London defends it well. Kirk Williams Jr. comes up with it. Williams Jr. bounce pass to Moon. Goes up to the rim. No good. Kirk Williams Jr. recovers and finishes.
3 London Lightning right under the rim to rebound. You got to love that hustle.
Quickly back the other way. Morrow stripped. Xavier Moon picks it up now. Moon covered by Lynn. Takes his time. Over to Williams Jr. Whoa, Williams Jr. just kind of gets bowled over there. That's going to be a foul on the floor.
Some guys getting well acquainted with the deck so far here tonight, Chris.
Already at least 2 or 3 floor burns for Kirk Williams Jr.
And here's the issue, Chris. Right at the line, and we're only in the first quarter in a bonus.
You run into a London player, you send him to the line. Alex Johnson into the game now as Kirk Williams Jr. misses the first.
Alex Johnson, we've talked about some bright kicks here, Chris. Alex Johnson, kind of stepping his game up. We've seen some loud ones, Xavier Moon as well.
I was going to say, between Xavier Moon, Alex Johnson, and Rudolph Joly, I really hope our viewers don't have the contrast turned up too high. Horton, deep three, no good. Rebound, Morrow collects. The Western grad, Greg Morrow, kicks it outside, around the perimeter, strings, up with it. No good again. That's Nigel Titer into the game. Horton collects the ball and resets the offense.
Let's see if they go 2 for 1 here, Chris.
Lynn trying to ditch Xavier Moon. No good. And one play. Damon Lynn.
Very good, Chris. By Damon Lynn. The smallest guy on the floor. Impressive body control. It took a hit. Able to put it over the bigger defender.
Again, Xavier Moon didn't give him any inches.
Absolutely. And again, London, with a lot of energy plays, got themselves the lead. KW, that's the recipe for them to get back into the lead, in my opinion, Chris.
Lynn misses the free throw, and London's back the other way. Williams Jr. open inside and finishes.
Beautiful roll by Kirk Williams Jr. Xavier Moon, after an amazing game last game with the game winner, carrying over his strong play.
Ed Horton sets up the offense for what likely will be the last shot of the quarter. Works around a screen. Got tangled up there. And they're going to say he was out of bounds on the fall there. London going to get their attempt at the last shot of the quarter. Pulled into Gaines. 5 left. Gaines quickly up the court. He's just going to go straight to the rim and in. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Lee and Gaines into the game for the Lightning. Here's Xavier Moon starting things off for the second quarter. Lightning work the ball around the perimeter. Joly comes with the screen. Kick outside. Kirk Williams Jr. 3, no good. Scramble for the rebound. Moon just kind of finds it. Joly swatted by Greg Morrow. Oh my goodness, what a play by Morrow. Johnson swinging it around. Kirk Williams Jr. 2, no good. And that's Ashton Smith with the rebound.
Greg Morrow saving a possession there on defense. Incredible block.
This is Glenn Whitfield. Just goes up with it, no dice. It's going to be a foul on the play on Joly, though.
Glenn Whitfield and Kirk Williams Jr., pretty much the Spider-Man meme between the two. Very similar games.
We're going to see Greg Morrow here. Just
get up.
Incredible block. Read the play the whole way. Get out of here.
Great reaction play, too, Chris. Help defense, being aware that his team was at a disadvantage there down low, and helping off his man and getting up. Joly is not a small man to be blocking, so impressive play by the Western grad. Go Mustangs. Yes, I'm biased.
Gee, Tom, I wonder if your Western degree has anything to do with that call out. Here's Glenn Whitfield at the line. Makes them both 35-29. Johnson starting things off here for the Lightning. Inside to Joly. This play worked a lot against Windsor. No dice tonight. Ashton Smith.
Great swarming of the defense by KW on the catch. Joly never had a chance.
That's another quick foul on Joly against Nigel Titer.
Again, Joly trying to keep that momentum from very positive minutes that he had in that Windsor game, Chris. So a little struggle early here, but I anticipate he'll bring the energy again.
And Joly hasn't played a ton for the Lightning, but put in some very key minutes for the Lightning in that game against the Express. Bounce pass to Akeem Ellis. Corner 3, no good. Lightning can't decide who wants it. Now they're coming back the other way. Long pass to Joly. Goes up with it and good.
What a beautiful pass by Superman Johnson. Looking like a quarterback out there with the perfect lob. Joly running the floor, beating his man.
Ashton Smith working on Xavier Moon. Outside to Whitfield. Bumps into Gaines. They're going to call that on AJ Gaines.
Gaines with a tough one, trying to close out. He guessed left. Thing is that
not much you can do there.
Whitfield guessed right, and it was exactly the collision. Not much you can do.
It was a 50-50 play, and Glenn Whitfield just ends up running right into Gaines. Tough one for him.
He knew it too, the smirk he had after, Chris.
This is Ashton Smith. Tough jumper, no good. Flynard Whitfield can't reel in the rebound. London Lightning ball. 8-point game, 10-17 to play here in the second quarter. Again, just some of the brightest shoes you'll ever see on the London Lightning court tonight. Moon, inside to Jolie, spins off his defender, no good. Akeem Ellis collects. This is Ellis. Down low to Whitfield. Backing down Capers, tries to spin off of him. And they're going to call a foul on, I'm not sure if that's going to be on Capers or Jolie.
A few other refs in the stands, Chris, don't seem to agree with that call, as you can imagine, the home crowd. But
a couple thousand referees, not very many in stripes. Not very happy with that one. And that's going to send Jolie to the bench with his third.
Yeah, tough for Jolie. Tried to bring the energy, and I thought he had a few positive moments there, but unfortunate foul trouble.
Stripped by Marvin Phillips. Back the other way, the Lightning. Superman Johnson. Harassed by Ed Horton. That'll be a foul again. Now, we talked about KW, not really great discipline in that first quarter. That's only their first foul now compared to 4 on the Lightning in the second.
And a very positive foul, actually, because all Superman Johnson had to do was turn around, and that's a pass in for an easy bucket.
Xavier Moon. Loses Ashton Smith, goes up with it, finishes and one. Xavier Moon.
Xavier Moon's athletic ability, really, I mean, it's in the bloodline. Should we really be surprised? Not necessarily the dunk, but unbelievable cut here. Shook his man, Ashton Smith, and then the finish amongst the trees.
Oh, my goodness. Heavily contested.
Again, you got to think a guy like that has got to be riding high after last game, and a huge shot.
Moon makes the extra free throw. 11-point lead now for the Lightning. Shamar Sutherland getting ready to check into the game. Ellis trying to find Flynard Whitfield down low. Gaines does a good job defensively. Ellis forced to go up with it, no good. And we're going to have a jump ball, arrow in the Titans' favor. Fan giving AJ Gaines some love for that one. Sutherland checking in for Ed Horton now.
And that's what you like to see, though. Ellis, Gaines gave each other a dap there, like good energy, good hustle. That's what you love to see, the competitive spirit,
It's
Chris.
competitors competing. You got to love it. Ashton Smith. Inbounds to Whitfield. Wide open, swatted. Foul on Marvin Phillips. You know, I think you're okay with that foul because you can't let that be that easy.
Yeah, no, you can't let that be that easy, Chris. Flynn Whitfield, well-designed play by Coach Cavell Johnson. From the inbound, London, just a miscommunication. I don't think there's any defensive philosophy that allows a man to just walk down the middle of the lane on an inbound, Chris. Impressive play, though, by Marvin Phillips getting back.
Whitfield makes good on the first. Misses the second. AJ Gaines recovers. And that's going to be a blocking foul there on Akeem Ellis.
Quick take, Chris. Looked like his feet were inside the semicircle there, hence the block call.
One of the hardest calls in basketball, but when you're that deep into the key, it makes it a little easier for the ref.
Yeah, no defender is ever going to believe that they didn't have their feet outside of that.
Moon, good on the first.
Again, the Moon aggressiveness, and really it's what's propelled London to its lead so far this game, is there in what has shifted from those first few moments, attacking the rim.
No good on the second. Derek Hall with the recovery. Akeem Ellis. Over to Smith. Turns the corner, finds Hall. Hall not able to get his position. Ellis, deep three. No, oh my goodness, the bank is open.
A Jordan shrug. We just had a Jordan shrug. Ellis.
I don't know if you get to Jordan shrug off a bank, but
I didn't hear bank called. I did not hear bank called, Chris.
Xavier Moon kicks it out to Phillips. Open three. Good.
Marvin Phillips, versatility, impressive play, making Hall come out and guard him out deep, Chris.
Sutherland. Back to Whitfield. Gaines strips it. They're going to call a foul there on Gaines.
Yeah, Coach Etherington liking the effort. Referee did have a good angle at that. But those are energy fouls that if you're a team, Chris, you're not against when you're coaching.
Problem could be, though, London one foul away from the limit. Long pass to Hall. Now to Ellis. Kicks over to Sutherland. Deep three. No good. Ashton Smith collects. Akeem Ellis open three. No good. Lightning kind of fighting over the ball. Marvin Phillips collects it. Xavier Moon now. Over to Johnson. Johnson's going to reset the offense. Screen comes from Phillips. Over to Gaines. Gaines the three. Good!
Oh, wow. AJ Gaines showing a little range, not necessarily his forte.
He doesn't shoot it often, but he has made it a couple times.
Absolutely. Nice fluid jump shot, Chris.
Smith swatted. Back the other way are the Lightning.
Track
three
meet.
on none. Xavier Moon up and in! Marcus Capers! Yeah, you better call a timeout after that one.
Yeah, wow.
Showtime here. Xavier Moon off the glass.
Point with regards to maintaining the energy, not losing after such an emotional win last game.
49-33. We're back in the second quarter. 7:20 to play in this quarter. 49-33 Lightning over the Titans. Sutherland over to Akeem Ellis. Fakes the pull-up. Hall now. Inside to Smith. Great pass, great finish.
Great play, great ball movement, shifting the defense left to right. And Smith with a great finish, Chris.
Alex Johnson. That's going to be a moving pick on Marvin Phillips. I believe that'll put London over the limit as well, so this should be free throws.
Again, you like the aggressiveness, Chris, and I gave credit earlier for the Gaines play, the aggressiveness, but now you've got almost 7 minutes that they could be in the bonus for your KW. Aggressiveness for KW will be key here.
Pardon me, next one puts them over the limit. Smith over to Ellis. Cross court, Capers comes up with it. Moon tips it up to himself. Capers over to Gaines. Gaines finish.
What a pass by Marcus Capers. And again, how many times attacking the passing lane, using his length, getting a hand on the ball.
And the Titans with these turnovers making it way too easy for London. Moon, another one. Moon, deep pass to Johnson. Johnson's going to slow things down, let the offense get in front of him. Moon. Comes around the Phillips screen. Corner three, Alex Johnson, no good. Flynn Whitfield just snatches that out of the air. 1-on-3, he's going to hold up.
Smart play. Great rebound, though, Chris.
Smith over to Whitfield. Whitfield fakes pass, turns the corner up and under and in.
Parting the Red Sea, Flynn Whitfield able to take advantage, head up, made an aggressive move, and gets the bucket. London asleep on their help.
Johnson over to Gaines. Gaines, another three. Good. Take some more, AJ.
AJ Gaines showing that it's not just showtime on the dunks, Chris. He's got that range. As you said, doesn't always take them, but he's making them tonight, Chris.
Smith, he's just grabbed onto by Moon. That'll send him to the line.
Again, Chris, these are the type of plays for KW. Attacking lane, again, miscommunication by Gaines and Capers there.
Great job by Whitfield recognizing the pressure from Gaines.
Absolutely, Chris. And, having your head up, a lot of these guys, when they're, when your team is struggling, you kind of put the blinders on and you put your head down. That was awareness that got him to the bucket there, Chris, and able to lay it in.
Ashton Smith, good on the first. Again, Smith, a member of the London Lightning last season, having a much more increased role here with the KW Titans this year. Capers. Down low to Phillips. Back to Gaines, 3. Good! AJ Gaines shooting out of his mind.
AJ Gaines, Kyle Korver or AJ Gaines? I'm not sure.
Lob up to Hall. Hall fouled, and that's going to be another foul on Gaines. That'll send Hall to the line.
You can take that energy foul if you're the London Lightning from AJ Gaines if he's going to hit threes like this, Chris. But again, he's been impactful in many ways so far in this game. It's gravy that he's been able to hit these threes. Well-deserved rest too, Chris, for him.
Hall makes the first.
Again, if I'm Coach Cavell Johnson, Ashton Smith had it going early. Hall would be the other guy I'd really look to try to close this game in as we get towards the half, Chris.
And AJ Gaines already at 11 points in the game. Garrett Williamson checks in for Gaines, and this is Capers. Down low to Phillips. Jumper over Hall. No good. Ellis collects. Akeem Ellis. Looks like he might be limping just a bit. Hall. Over to Smith. Smith cuts inside. Blocked by Garrett Williamson. And they're going to say out of bounds on Williamson when he came down there.
Great play by Garrett Williamson with help. Bolden and Capers were kind of almost shook by on the switch. Didn't really know who was going to take the drive. Impressive play by Williamson helping out his teammate, though.
Damon Lynn on the floor, Ashton Smith to the bench. Hall spins off Phillips. Over to Sutherland. 2 on the shot clock. Deep shot, no good. Didn't hit the rim. That'll be a 24-second violation. All Lightning in this first half. 57-41 for the Bolts.
4 minutes to go, Chris. We could see London in the 60s by the end of the half.
Just an awakened London offense over their past 2 games.
Absolutely.
Phillips working on Akeem Ellis. Help comes from Sutherland, knocks it away. Ellis collects.
Great help by Sutherland coming down, forcing the turnover.
Hall. Back to the three-point line. Ellis thought about the 3, decided against it. Whitfield. Over to Ellis. Ellis, great finish, great pass from Whitfield.
Great pass by Whitfield on a play that, again, there's a lot of jolted, offense by the KW Titans. Big bucket, though.
Phillips over to Williamson. I feel like KW's done a lot of great passing, but just haven't been able to finish on a lot of them. Phillips up and under and in. Let's see what the Titans can get going here. Whitfield working on Bolden. Crosses up. Bolden draws the charge.
Chris, you make a great point about, passing, but a lot of the passes, if you look at what is happening to this KW offense, the guys aren't necessarily moving. They're just passing into guys who are still. And that's not a recipe for a good offense.
It seems like a lot of the passes are passes that the defense are giving to them as opposed to passes that are actually opening anything up.
And if you're Coach Cavell Johnson, you're telling your guys, you got to be moving. You got to make that defense shift.
Bolden covered tightly by Nigel Titer. Ed Horton getting ready to check into the game for the Titans. Williamson able to collect that Bolden pass. Didn't have many options, though. Hall back the other way. Sutherland just keeps it in. And that's going to be out of bounds on Marcus Capers trying to collect the ball. Just a couple of passes overshooting their targets. 2:36 to play, 59-43 for the London Lightning over the KW Titans. Carl Hall going to take a breather. Wide open shot, barely a jump from Lynn, no good. Horton Swatted by Bolden, but they're going to call a foul.
I'm guessing the foul is going to be there on Ware, Chris.
Correct. So Ed Horton to the line to shoot 2.
So far, Chris, really a missed opportunity by KW to take advantage of London being, in over the limit here.
London was at 6 fouls with 8 minutes to play. They've only committed 1 foul since.
Yeah.
Make that 2, pardon me. Horton makes good at the line. London quickly back the other way. Williamson was looking for the long pass to Williams Jr., didn't have it. Down low to Williams Jr. Help comes from Ellis. Capers, extra pass to Bolden. No good. Lynn with the rebound. Titans quickly back the other way. Lynn cuts inside. Blocked by Williamson. Out of bounds on Lynn. London recovers.
Great individual defense by Garrett Williamson in transition. Lynn trying to show the aggressiveness that we've been going for and that we've been really calling for them to get back in this game. But Garrett Williamson doing a stand-up job as the bigger defender. Hands up vertical.
59-45, 2:08 to play. Capers, tight defense from Lynn. And they're going to call offensive foul on Capers. Lynn just takes the chair. And Capers is going to get teed up for the way he gave the ball to Lynn there.
It might be a double tech, Chris.
I think it's just on Capers there. Again, I think they're saying Capers pushed the ball into Lynn's chest maybe more than he needed to.
Well, Chris, you're supposed to give the ball directly to the referee on those plays. So anytime you're giving it to the opposition like that, it's going to be probably be perceived in the wrong sort of way.
So Lynn makes good on the free throw. And Akeem Ellis now to inbound. 59-46. Again, Capers has already been suspended once for accumulation of tech, so you don't want that to keep building up. That's going to get knocked out of the hands of Lynn by Kevin Ware.
Chris, if I'm Coach Cavell Johnson here, I'm looking at minute 50. I want this in single digits going into halftime.
Absolutely. Go into the half with some momentum. Lynn loses control, just barely keeps it in. Moon collects.
Man advantage.
Williamson over to Bolden. Corner 3. No good. Tighter with the rebound. Horton trying to push the play. Wants everyone running. Over to Ellis. Almost stripped by Kevin Ware. Ellis collects. Mismatch there. Ware knocks it away again. Ellis over to Tighter. Back to Ellis. I'm not sure what the call was on that one.
Potential 3 in the key, Chris?
I believe that would be the call.
Didn't see the indication from the ref either.
And PA announcer I don't think knows either is Williamson. Over to Ware. This is Bolden now. Cutting inside on Tighter. Gets it knocked away. They're going to call the foul on Tighter. Foul on the floor, so it'll be an inbound play.
Have to see that play again. It looks like Tighter really did a good job moving his feet there with Mo Bolden. It might have been one of the help defenders getting his arms in there, Chris.
Still a 13-point lead for the Lightning. Straight outside to Kirk Williams Jr. Over to Bolden. Screen takes the 3, drills it. Quick inbounds from the Titans. Ellis. Over to Horton. This is Lynn. Was looking to get the ball to Tighter. It didn't open up. Inside to Sutherland, cuts in. Great finish from Shamar Sutherland, a heads-up play.
Beautiful cut, Chris. I was just about to comment that there was not enough movement from the other players off the ball. And Shamar Sutherland maybe just reading my mind, making a great cut to the basket.
Ware going to get fouled. 17.8 seconds left, 62-48. The foul should be on the floor, and it is. Moon to inbound for the Lightning. Williamson. Clock ticking down. 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 5 on the shot clock. Moon, 3. No good. Bolden just kind of knocks it out of bounds. Titans with 2 seconds left get a shot at the last shot of the quarter. Quickly down the floor is Horton. Lobs it up. No good. And with that, position after a rough stretch. And coming off of a double overtime game on Thursday night. The Titans looking to see if they can bring this game back. Capers will start with the ball for the London Lightning. Capers, Phillips, Ware, Williamson, and Bolden on the floor for the Bolts. Over to Bolden. Down low to Phillips, covered by Hall. Phillips goes up with it. He's going to get fouled.
Great play right off the bat from the London Lightning. Marvin Phillips. Hall, you're a 7-footer. You don't necessarily need to start reaching around to get a steal there. Use your size. You've got that advantage on Marvin Phillips. Marvin Phillips, though, with the very quick move getting to the rim.
If you want to know why this game has gotten the way it has, no stat illustrates that better than the turnovers. 12 turnovers for the Titans, only 3 for the Lightning. Lightning also with 9 steals, so the majority of those turnovers are ones that the defense has forced.
Absolutely. London very active in passing lanes.
Smith, Hall, Ellis, Whitfield, and Sutherland on the floor for the Titans. Here's Smith. Makes a nice move, but I believe there's going to be a foul down low. That'll be called on the London Lightning.
Chris, and if you're Coach Cavell Johnson here, it's all about trying to win chunks of possessions, right? Win the next 3 possessions. Get 3 stops in a row. Get yourself back into it in that way.
Turnover again for the Titans, and Marvin Phillips quickly back the other way. London with numbers. Williamson to Phillips, up and in.
You mentioned it, Chris. The turnover stat has killed the KW Titans, and another one there.
Smith works around the Hall screen. Pass back to Hall. Hall up and no good. Back the other way are the Lightning. Long pass to Williamson, just able to keep it in. Ware collects, and London restarts the offense. Or I should say starts for the first time. That pass, don't know if it counts. Bolden, down low to Phillips. Beauty flush from a beauty pass by Mo Bolden. Marvin Phillips with the finish.
Great pass by Mo Bolden. Marvin Phillips, again, wasn't as loud in that last game. That dunk was quite loud, though, Chris.
Yeah, Phillips had some foul issues, as did most of the London front court in that one. That's going to be a travel on Shamar Sutherland. I think he was expecting more contact when he turned the corner than he got. That's going to send Derek Hall to the bench. Nigel Titer onto the court for the Titans. 20-point game now as London's continued to grow that lead.
Again, I like this from Coach Cavell Johnson. You know, don't let this fester. You got to try something new, and lineups might be the answer.
He's letting mostly the starting lineup play through this. Williamson backing down Smith. Bolden, great passing from the Lightning. Phillips inside for Capers.
That was a textbook offensive possession, Chris. And Coach Cavell Johnson going to timeout.
You have to call a timeout. That was too easy for the Lightning. There's Capers just completely open. No one really within a spitting distance of him.
But again, though, it was moving that defense left to right.
Akeem Ellis to inbound. We'll see if that DNA will help them tonight.
London has also had their issues closing, Chris.
Smith crosses over Phillips. Over to Flynn Whitfield. Back to Smith. Takes the jumper. I think that's a 2. They're going to give him the 3. Pardon me. That's Ashton Smith, a big three-pointer. This is Capers. Over to Bolden. Inside to Capers. Beautiful play. Again, the Bolden-Capers connection.
The high-low. KW had a lot of their defenders up towards the perimeter. Capers in the back door.
Smith just goes up with it, finishes. He's the guy they leaned on in that first half. He's stepping up here. Bolden. London have not given KW an inch. Works around to Williamson. Scramble play. That's going to go out of bounds off of the Titans, as that was Smith who was just trying to get in there and get a hold of the ball. $19-point game. Williamson. Corner 3 for Bolden. Takes it. Good!
That was an absolutely confident take by Mo Bolden, Chris. This shot preparation was top-notch.
The player was in rhythm, and right now the whole team looks in rhythm, as that almost was another turnover by the Titans. Corner 3 from Whitfield. Drains it.
Big answer.
Again, the Lightning not budging, but the Titans not going away either.
You love to talk about bend, don't break, Chris.
Williamson. Over to Bolden. Pumps. Behind the back. Beautiful play to Phillips. Oh, does not get the finish it deserved. Back the other way are the Titans. Whitfield attacks Bolden. Can't finish. Neither can Titer. Back the other way. Bounce pass swatted by Ellis. Sutherland. Ref far side of the court makes the foul call there on Kevin Ware.
I love the confidence from Mo Bolden there after the behind-the-back pass. That is a heck of a tough pass to try to pull off one-handed.
That's a we're up 19 pass.
That was a I've got some swagger pass.
Here's Ashton Smith. Screen set by Titer. They're going to say he wasn't set. Again, the errors, both forced and unforced, really biting the Titans tonight.
Absolutely, Chris.
Capers, pardon me, Tom.
I was just going to say, that might be a coach's least favorite stat, is that turnover.
Williamson up and in. And the late whistle sent him to the line for the three-point play.
It's like a vintage wine, Chris. Garrett Williamson getting to the line and drawing the foul.
The Garrett Williamson and one layup might be the most frequently seen sight in NBL Canada history. Williamson makes good on the free throw, 78-56. Ashton Smith turns the corner. Great pass. Good pass for a great one. Ellis no good. Ware quickly down the floor now. Looking to make work of Whitfield. Can't get it to go. Whitfield trying to find Sutherland. This is Ellis. One bounce, one block. Capers.
Marcus Capers coming over there using his length. We've seen him getting in the passing lanes. There he is getting in, being a rim protector. Just such a versatile player, Chris.
We're going to take another look at that block there from Capers. Bye. Whitfield. Over to Smith. Almost lost again by the Titans. Smith defended heavily. Williamson. Sutherland. Sutherland, the great finish.
Sutherland has really bailed out some possessions where there was a lack of movement by late cuts.
Williamson, the great help defense, but it left a man open. That was a great finish for the Titans. Ware. Thought shot. Opted against it. Williamson now. Cutting inside on Ellis. Fouled. He'll go the line again. Garrett Williamson. Mo Bolden going to take a seat, I believe. That's Rudolph Jolie checking into the game. Pardon me, that'll be Phillips taking a breather.
And Marvin Phillips impressive in his minutes tonight so far, Chris.
Gets a nice hand from the London Lightning faithful.
Jolie really starting to carve out a little bit of a space in this rotation here, getting some minutes here again, Chris.
Yeah, it's taken a bit because he is really a matchup piece, but when you've got the right matchup for him, he's been effective. Bolden over to Jolie. Back to Bolden, jumper, no good. Little off balance, and Titans back the other way. Ashton Smith calls for the screen. Smith off the glass, no good. London collects. Bolden over to Ware. Great passing from the Lightning. Capers, corner three for Ware, no good. 78-58, 6:22 to play. Not sure what happened there. Capers went down. Sutherland's going to take a three, no good.
Yeah, it seemed as though an inadvertent elbow, Chris, as everybody was trying to get back on offense for KW, and Capers coming back on defense. Just you see Ellis going over to him, just checking on him.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything intentional about Capers getting hurt there. Smith inbounding. They wanted to go to Ellis to just do the deep play to Titer. Smith. Deep three. Good!
If it wasn't for Smith, this would be a lot worse, Chris.
Again, Smith putting up a lot of points in what so far has been a disappointing effort from the Titans. Capers. Over to Williamson. Top of the key, loses his dribble. Inside to Jolie. Just kind of lays it up there. No good. Scramble play. Titer gets it. Ellis. Over to Smith. Working on Capers. Takes the pull-up jumper. Good! Ashton Smith is feeling it. It's 20, but the Titans have done a good job clawing back. A little miscommunication there from the Titans defenders. I don't think they knew whose assignment. Moon cuts around Titer, just goes up with it, side of the backboard, no good. That's going to be out of bounds off London, Titans ball. London unable to take advantage of what looked like some miscommunication from the Titans defense. Horton, Smith, Ellis, Titer, and Whitfield on the floor for the Titans. Smith. Down low to Whitfield. Whitfield on Bolden. Whitfield up, around, and in!
Wow.
Oh my goodness! Flanard Whitfield!
Uh-oh.
He's hurt though.
So is Capers too, Chris.
They really got tangled up when they were coming down.
You're gonna see a
here's
replay.
another look at the effort here from Flanard Whitfield.
Unbelievable
Incredible
body
finish.
control.
But he doesn't really plant well on his leg, and then Capers falls right into the same vicinity there.
Maybe it looks like his arm, Chris, just because, as you said, he didn't really get the chance to plant. The arm probably got a little bit extra impact.
We're going to see Whitfield get up. Capers already stood up and is okay. Whitfield.
Good to see. You don't want to see such an incredible play end up with that type of result and a guy getting injured.
Looks like Whitfield's just going to go to the bench.
Chris, it's
holding
13.
that arm.
It's 13 points, Chris.
Yeah, getting that Whitfield basket, making this a much closer game. And I know I almost certainly could hear viewers rolling their eyes when I said it, but veteran teams, a big lead doesn't scare them. Bolden, down low to Jolie. Capers takes the jumper. No good. I think we're going to have a foul on Hall there. He was just kind of holding on to Jolie.
Yeah, Jolie really active on the boards, and that's what he's doing. He's a big body. That's what you've got to do. And that's how he's going to continue getting minutes, Chris, in this lineup.
13-point game. Garrett Williamson to inbound. Over to Jolie. Great spin move and
wow.
one. Rudolph Jolie
The feet work, Chris. The feet work.
Play brighter than his shoes on that one. What a bucket.
Oh, Chris. No, right off Jolie. Again, as Shaq would say, the feet work, the true low post move, the beautiful drop step.
And again, he didn't play a ton since signing with the Lightning, but has really taken some minutes. Can't convert on the three-point play, but still a 15-point lead. Akeem Ellis. Over to Smith. He's the hot shooter for the Titans. Over to Titer. Jumper. No good. Lightning back the other way. Williamson. Over to Capers. Extra pass to Bolden. Down low again. Jolie. Kicks back out. Moon loses his dribble. This is Mo Bolden. Works around the screen. Takes the jumper. Good! Mo Bolden!
Yeah, Mo Bolden had Titer on him. Titer was going to switch back onto the other man, except there wasn't enough communication for, I believe, Smith to step up, and Mo Bolden rises up for the three, Chris.
Ashton Smith dribbles through his defenders, and a little teardrop. Beautiful play, Ashton Smith.
Single-handedly keeping his team in the game, Chris.
Bolden down to Jolie. Again, up with it. Hook, no good. Derek Hall slows it down just a bit. Akeem Ellis doesn't. Goes up with it, and good! Akeem Ellis!
Big play. Akeem Ellis saw the crease in the defense, attacked it. That's the aggressiveness we've needed to see from KW to bring them back into this game. Also, a very interesting lineup. We've got Titus, we've got Hall. Big lineup out here for KW, Chris. Maybe this is what gets them going. Smith with a well-deserved rest.
Lightning adjusting as Capers and Williamson go in the bench. Alex Johnson and AJ Gaines stepping into the game. So London doesn't really try to match size. Looks like they're going with a more athletic lineup, but keeping Jolie down there to crash and bang down low. So Akeem Ellis at the line. He can't convert on a three-point play, and London are back the other way. 83-69. Bolden. Just kind of lost the dribble there, but gets the ball back. Gaines. Over to Moon. Three for Moon. Makes it! Back the other way quickly. Hall. Beautiful play by Derek Hall to finish over Mo Bolden.
Give me that some of that old school big man basketball here, Chris, with Jolie, and then a beautiful post with Hall beating the Lightning down the court. Got great position. Moon.
Would have pulled up, but I think he slipped. AJ Gaines the three. He's still hot. AJ Gaines.
4 for 4 from 3. The London Lightning might just have another shooter.
Lynn kicks it out. Down low to Titer. Titer up with it, finishes.
You old school basketball fans must be loving this.
The
big man
play.
in the post.
89-73, 2:16 to go in the third quarter. Improved play from the Titans, but the Lightning haven't let up. That's going to be a foul on Nigel Titer. Kirk Williams Jr. checking into the game. Jolie going to take a breather.
Maybe the shortest rest ever for Ashton Smith as he comes back in the game.
Ashton Smith over maybe 2 breaths of time on the bench.
I don't know if they've got an oxygen tank over there, but they probably should for his break there.
Couple seconds on the IV drip, and Ashton Smith back into the game for the Titans. Here's Mo Bolden at the line. Bolden makes the first.
Mo Bolden done a great job this game, Chris, really picking his spots.
Makes the second. Speaking of short breaks, Flenard Whitfield back into the game for the Titans as well. Nigel Titer going to the bench. You could call this the three-pointer lineup from the KW Titans in the game right now.
Shooters across the lineup right now.
Horton. Over to Lynn. Ashton Smith just planted in the corner. Flenard Whitfield, the three. Good! Absolutely the shooter lineup in for the KW Titans, and there's a 3 right off the bat. Moon works around the Bolden screen. Gets left open, so Superman, no good. Back the other way are the Titans. Smith. Lightning don't want him to get going. Turns it over, another turnover by the Titans. Moon, 3-on-1. Lob in, up, no, good. A little too fancy from the Lightning, but they got the ball back. Alex Johnson over to Bolden. Williams Jr. Back to Bolden, stripped. Ashton Smith back the other way, 2-on-1. Smith up with it and in. Ashton Smith, 2 more points.
Ashton Smith on the other play, maybe being a little too unselfish this time. He was going up with that ball, Chris.
Ashton Smith already at 22 points. Xavier Moon up with it and in.
Wow. I believe the foul was under the basket, not on the play by Moon. But KW already over the limit.
Here's another look at it. Moon just goes up, and then Kirk Williams getting ready for the rebound, just gets a little bit of a hip check there.
There's definitely an added swagger to Xavier Moon's game after that Windsor game, Chris. A lot more creative off the dribble, a lot more aggressive looking for his own shot.
Williams Jr. makes good. 56 seconds to go. 94-78. Make that 95. Ed Horton dribbling the ball up the court. Horton turns the corner, kicks it up to Hall. I believe we're going to have a foul down low. That's the 5th foul of the quarter on the London Lightning. Horton to inbound. Up high to Hall. Ends up hitting Smith.
Yeah, screened his own guy.
Lynn over to Smith. Smith deep 3. No good. Xavier Moon collects. Eyes up the court. Moon assessing his options. Over to Bolden. Jumper, corner of the key and in.
Great play because now you're London. You've got a 2-for-1 opportunity.
97-78. The Lightning opened it back up to a 19-point lead. Smith bleeding as much clock as he can. Cross court, down low, Whitfield up and no good. He's going to get fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
I think he got clipped on the way by Kirk Williams Jr.
So Flanard Whitfield to the line. 71% free throw shooter. Misses the first.
Coaches usually have some sort of play designed here out of the inbounds. Let's see what they've got.
6 seconds left. Moon takes the inbounds pass. Full speed up the court. Beats everyone and in! Xavier Moon! The electric finish to the quarter of London Lightning basketball on NBLC Live. Brought to you by Cujo Entertainment. Chris Croucher and Tom Croucher in the booth. And here we go, the 4th quarter. The Titans looking to stir something up. Lynn, Whitfield, Strings, Horton, and Ellis on the floor. That's Whitfield finishing at the rim.
Whitfield been a much stronger second half so far.
Moon, Johnson, Williams Jr., Phillips, and Gaines on the floor for the Lightning. All bench unit except for Phillips. This is Johnson. Over to Phillips. Wide open 3. Drills it.
Too many of those miscommunications on defense for KW, Chris, tonight, and that is why the lead is what it is.
Ed Horton turns the corner on Johnson, lays it in, and good.
Again, if you're Coach Cavell Johnson, I mentioned it earlier, it's about how many can we put together some stops here.
So far, no luck. Kirk Williams Jr. over to Johnson. Johnson, pass to Moon. Moon, down low to Williams. Phillips, another three. Another make. Marvin Phillips.
Marvin Phillips, AJ Gaines, you're not the only guy who can shoot the three. Marvin Phillips showing that all the big men on London can hit from deep.
Almost stolen away from London. They're going to call a foul.
And it's amazing what happens when you see it go in from deep when you're Marvin Phillips. Next shot, same opportunity. He's got his rhythm, saw the ball go in, able to bury it again.
Mo Bolden and AJ Gaines. Bolden 20 points in that first half, or pardon me, after 3 quarters. AJ Gaines 19 points after 3 quarters. Moon, great dribble move, shoots it, makes it. London's just feeling it from anywhere on the floor, and it doesn't matter who's shooting it.
Absolutely. The bench loving it, supporting their teammates there. Good shimmy by Moon.
Whitfield just pulls up. No good. Phillips collects. 107-83. Williams Jr. tried to go baseline. Strings blocked it. Great pass to Gaines, who's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Great cut by Gaines. Coach Etherington coming out onto the floor to give Kirk Williams a high five for that heads-up play. As a coach, you got to be loving this. If you're Coach Etherington, you got to be loving what you've been seeing from your team. Defensively aggressive, offensively aggressive. Other than those first few minutes, this has been all London Lightning.
At the same time, there's a bit of where's this been all year?
Oh, absolutely.
London string together two fantastic offensive efforts. Gaines can't make the second. That's his first miss of the night. Lynn looking to create space. Loses his dribble. Feeds it to Whitfield. Whitfield up and in. Flenard Whitfield not going away.
Of course, when I say great defense, Flenard Whitfield makes a great individual move there with the left-handed hook.
Moon creates some space, feeds it to Johnson. Good shot for a great shot. Williams Jr. no good. Titans collect. Pass a little long for Lynn. Can't do much with it. Back the other way are the Lightning. Titans bench calling for a foul. Johnson the three and in.
London is just on a roll, Chris.
111 points, and realistically, London hasn't missed for a while. Horton over to Strings, no good.
Cavell Johnson really imploring the refs, and he's about to get a technical here.
Cavell Johnson just picking up a technical.
Chris, that could be the classic motivate your team technical.
The Kyle Julius special, we could call it.
Kyle Julius special. His team is kind of just really getting punched in the mouth here. The aggressiveness that they've needed, they just haven't been able to maintain it. You got to think as coach Cavell Johnson, just trying to fire up his guys, saying, "I'm not quitting. You guys shouldn't be quitting either."
Hollis Johnson misses the technical free throw. And Lund's got figured out something to inbound. There it is. Gaines. Moon down low to Williams Jr. Great pass, no finish. Lightning want a foul now. Ed Horton up and no good. Flenard Whitfield with the rebound. Lynn thinks twice about the shot. Whitfield doesn't, takes it, no good. Moon now back the other way. Lightning pushing the pace. Williams Jr. up, blocked. Flenard Whitfield, huge swat. Johnson covered by Strings. This is a mismatch. Johnson loses his dribble. Phillips, deep three, no good. Titans back the other way. Deep three again. Horton drills it. Lightning slowing things down here. 111-90 with 8:11 to play. Moon tries to turn the corner. Foul on Strings. We're going to see the block here from Flenard Whitfield.
Amazing play. Recovery.
Right at the glass, too. Here's Williams Jr. for the Lightning. Down low, great pass to Gaines for the flush.
How does Gaines just, he's right on the hoop, no momentum whatsoever, and it's easily dunking it. The athleticism, incredible.
The halftime leading scorer for the Lightning left completely open. Ellis cuts inside Whitfield at the rim and in.
Great cut. Bernard Whitfield making impact plays for his team. Just unable to get the stops they need to really cut into this London lead.
7:27 to play. Gaines jumper, top of the key, no good. And unfortunately, that's going to end his 100% shooting night. Keem Ellis. Over to Whitfield. Over to Ashton Smith. Bounce pass to Whitfield, the slam.
Beautiful play. Smith, Whitfield, two guys who have consistently had it for the K. But good learning experience. And not even close to over when you can hit threes like the KW Titans can, Chris.
113.94. Xavier Moon. Covered by Ashton Smith. Over to Phillips. Cuts inside. Ditches his defender. Can't finish. Kirk Williams Jr. hits the deck trying to get that rebound. Titans back the other way. Horton quickly to the rim. Blocked by Gaines. Oh my goodness. Get out of here. Alex Johnson up to the rim. No good. He'll go to the line. We need to see that play from AJ Gaines. Are you kidding me?
The chase down block, Chris. Not even. He just went right up, get out. Oh, man.
He had some serious anger management issues dealt with that basketball. My goodness.
And you know what, Chris? An impressive part of that play? He kept it in bounds.
Yeah.
That ignited the free throws that we're
Kept
seeing
it alive.
from Johnson.
Johnson makes the first. We're back to a 20-point game. Makes them both. Keem Ellis inbounding. Tough defense from Johnson there. I think this is more about getting into Ashton Smith's head than actually forcing a turnover. Smith turns the corner, lays it in. Oh, great answer from Ashton Smith.
Great job cutting through the lane. Ashton Smith. One of the very few highlights so far from the KW Titans in this game.
Moon can't finish on that play. It's going to go out of bounds off of Ed Horton. Mo Bolden checking into the game. Marvin Phillips taking a breather. 19-point game. Also checking into the game, Josiah Moore. That's going to be Kirk Williams Jr. taking a seat. Bolden, jumper, good.
Again, that has become such an automatic part of his game, Chris, that in-rhythm mid-range jumper.
Ed Horton, quick to the rim. That's going to be a foul. That'll send Ed Horton to the line.
You got to think, too, Chris, this might be a different game with Joel Friesen.
Yeah, the KW Titans definitely missing the presence of their leading scorer. I'm sure he would have had a little extra venom to his game.
A little extra juice.
Again, Joel Friesen, a member of 2 championships here as a member of the London Lightning. Won a 3rd one before his time with the Lightning as a member of the Halifax Hurricane.
When AJ Gaines gets up for his jump shot, you're either fouling him or he's burying it. He just gets so much elevation. I mean, Ellis played good defense there, Chris. But unfortunately...
When someone jumps that high, you almost have no choice but to hit the wrist.
Absolutely. Wrist, elbow.
Yeah. Justin Strings into the game for the Titans. Gaines good on the first.
And I think, Chris, one of the things we're seeing, you're talking about, like, London fans being, where has this been? I think we're seeing a lot of guys coming into their own now who aren't necessarily NBLC veterans. We're seeing guys like Xavier Moon really develop. AJ Gaines really start to develop.
And you got to remember, Elliot Etherington coming in late. Some nice applause for the London players heading to the bench.
Mo Bolden's been consistently good this season, but Xavier Moon has really taken a step these past 2 games, Chris.
And again, these are his first 2 games after coming back from injury. Morrow. Over to Lynn. Lynn working on Alex Johnson.
And again, I think that's also the other factor to consider. Every team has their injuries, but London specifically, has dealt with some injuries to guys where they haven't really been able to get the rotation maybe they've wanted to. Combine the fact of the newer coach, combine the fact that we've got some guys who don't necessarily have that same experience in the NBL finding their footing.
Get ready for some Showtime games!
Oh, man.
The windmill slam from AJ Gaines.
Shout out Curtis knew immediately to get this one up.
Oh my! Are you kidding me? Lightning bench seeing the replay loses their mind. The Lightning coach is trying to pull them back onto the bench.
We've got to see this again.
Here it is again. Just, oh my goodness. Third time just as nice. Oh my goodness.
Wow. That was for the bench, folks. The bench looking up at the highlight. Wow.
AJ Gaines, the electrifying slam.
I thought the dunk contest was next week. AJ Gaines.
127, 101, 3:08 to play. Lynn. Tom, going back to the point we were talking about before, AJ Gaines rightfully stopped that conversation. You think about all the players the Lightning have had, missed significant time. You've got Kevin Ware, Xavier Moon, Gary Williamson's missed time. Kirk Williams Jr. I know has been dinged up at times. You've got a couple of different players on the Lightning who have really fought through injuries, had injuries, and they've had significant time missed. They're really only now under Etherington getting back to full health.
And again, their ceiling was, their floor was pretty set with the guys that they had, the Mo Boldens and that, but these newer guys are really where their ceiling is, Chris.
Jolie, why not? No good. Tighter, falls to the floor getting the rebound. Lynn, cutting inside, over to Sutherland. Sutherland works it inside. Tough. He's going to get fouled.
I've liked some of the energy for Sutherland. Obviously, it's not the type of game that he or KW would have wanted, but definitely some things to take into the film room, brush up on some things.
And again, just not great for the Titans. First free throw, no good.
When it's not your night, sometimes it's not your night, Chris. And for London, when you've got AJ Gaines on a breakaway dunk, when it's your night, it's your night.
Johnson. Over to Moore.
They're trying to
Sutherland
get JBH
gets a hand
here.
on there. Yeah, they're trying to get everyone involved.
Yeah, I love that.
Johnson, kicked by Tighter. Lob up to Gaines. He almost buried that. An audible ooh comes across the crowd as Gaines almost finished that. We have 2 minutes and 18 seconds of what could be the Gaines show left in this one. 127-104, London Lightning. AJ Gaines, good on the first free throw.
I think just this game, seeing the guys that have come through, AJ Gaines, that's what I'm talking about, the ceiling of this team. They really can dictate that. When they evolve and then they're really putting forward and getting their feet under them in this league, I think that could make London a very dangerous team.
Strings trying to get a handle on the ball. Tighter over to Lynn. Deep three, no good. Morrow can't get the tip in. That's going to be a foul on Jalen Babb Harrison.
Greg Morrow hitting the boards there, here in his hometown.
Can't make the first.
And obviously, KW has had a bit of their struggles in this little stretch of the season, but you don't want to read too much into a game like this.
You can't let this impact the next game, both for London and KW.
You've got to take the whole on to the next one.
For London, you got to remember the season series after this game is going to be tied 2-2. And for the KW Titans, you got to remember you won 2 out of 3 before tonight.
And we talk about cliches in sports all the time, right, Chris? When teams talk about, well, it's just one game, you truly have to think that way. It's a long season. As AJ Gaines comes out.
Here's the substitution so Gaines can get some applause.
And so the bench getting everybody to get up.
.155 to play here. Alex Johnson, after that applause for AJ Gaines, with the ball. Johnson. Tough finish, no good. Jolie can't finish either. Josiah Moore strips it away. Johnson can't collect.
Superman almost made a Superman save there.
Lynn. Over to Titer, over to Lynn. Pass ends up in the seats, London ball. I know it's not as much of an impact at this point in the game, but that's another turnover for the Titans.
That really has been a story for them. You have to clean that up.
Johnson over to Bab Harrison, the 3. Good.
Wow. Bench loving that. Bab Harrison getting involved.
Sutherland. Moving screen on Jolie there. Pardon me. It's late in the game for us, too.
Yeah, it's late.
Defensive foul on Jolie. 132-104. Titer makes the first.
Again, with the way the season has gone, Chris, 105 wouldn't net, or 106 with that free throw would actually be a solid offensive output, but
it's the defensive side that wasn't so great tonight.
No,
for the
not
Titans.
at all.
Jolie, they were looking for him. Kick ball.
Yeah.
Jolie
over
to Moore. Great flush.
Oh, they're going to call a charge, Chris.
Offensive foul on Rudolph Jolie. For Josiah Moore. 10 seconds left.
Kirk Williams having a little chuckle over the range that Josiah Moore tried to showcase.
Clock ticking down. That'll do it here in London. It's Tramar Sutherland thinks about taking the last one. He's having a joke with Mo Bolden about it. 134-1.